We're hearing from Bob Nightingale that the Astros have checked in on Cody Bellinger. They checked in on Marcus Stroman. So if you can only sign one of these guys or trade for one of these guys, I should say, who would you prioritize?
Well, if we're going to leave Price out of it, it's Stroman. He's been a top 5 National League starting pitcher this year. He has some playoff race experience. And, if you're into swagger, he brings that by the gallon to the mound. But he would slot right into the Astros rotation as their number 2 guy behind a healthy Fromber at this point. So you have to get to the playoffs before someone can make a difference in the playoffs. Stroman would be a tremendous fortification for the bullpen, for the rotation. I'm just very dubious that the Astros will be able to make the top offer for a guy like Marcus Stroman, given the Dodgers are in for starting pitching. The Rays are in for starting pitching. The Rangers are in for starting pitching, and all have multiple prospects graded better than any Astros prospect from Drew Gilbert on down.
No, that's all fair. And it makes me wonder because we heard Dana Brown, I believe he spoke on the flagship last week and said something to the effect of maybe we won't be able to get a home run deal. Maybe it'll be like a double. So trying to figure out what he means by that, Stroman feels like a home run trade to me. If I'm trying to think of who would be a double, even Giolito feels a little more than a double to me. I would think more of like Jordan Montgomery, who's now dealing with a little bit of an injury, or Eduardo Rodriguez. Are those guys singles? Are those guys doubles? What's your take on that?
Well, the latter 2 names you mentioned, both lefties, if there's any appeal of adding another lefty to complement Fromber in the rotation. I'm with you on Giolito, whose overall numbers this season aren't awesome, but he's very good. Again, I don't think the Astros can bid with, say, the Dodgers on a guy like that. Or maybe the Dodgers trade for Ohtani and suddenly they don't have any of their premium guys left to trade. Montgomery, free agent, end of year. Eduardo Rodriguez can opt out, become a free agent, end of year. What's Detroit going to do? They're only 6 games out in the American League Central, but they're no good. They're 41-51. So, if 500 can win that pitiful division, Tigers have the goods to go 40-30 the rest of the way, or do they say, no, let's sell what we have to sell? A couple of relievers who wouldn't be glamour names, but Alex Lang, who has good numbers, not even arbitration eligible until 2025. Would Montgomery be a needle mover? He pitched very well for the Cardinals after going to them from the Yankees last year. If the price is right, I would take him because I'm not a believer in Bielak or Blanco, and we just don't know what the Astros are going to get from Jose Urquidy before we get to what are Brown and Javier good for the rest of the way.
Right. We should get to that too. But that is the thing that I liked about those 2 pitchers there in Montgomery and Rodriguez. At least they've been guys that have started 30 games more than once in their careers. There's a lot of these other guys we're talking about where maybe they have really good spin, but they've never shown that they can start 30 games for an MLB team. So these guys at least have proven they can do that. If you go to their Baseball Savant page, the spin's not going to wow you, but some of the other categories, they're pretty good. And Montgomery's had a good, low ERA for the last several years. So he feels like a safe option, but he won't blow you away. Quickly, what about, what we saw from Javier? Do you feel at least like, okay, it's a step in the right direction, or is it still just hard to count on him until you see more?
Yeah, I'll go with small step, right? Glass better, half full, probably live longer if that's your outlook. But 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned, couple walks in there. Did strike out 7. Yeah. Strikeout numbers have been way down. But the fastball was still in that 91, 92, 93 range. So small step, not a guy right now. I don't think any Astro fan or Astro, being honest, is thinking, I'm comfortable with that guy starting game 2 of a must-have regular season series or a playoff series. But we still have more than 2 months of season left, so that figurative second wind between he and Hunter Brown, at least one of those two better come up with it. And just to hop back a little bit on the name game, Josh, while on those Tigers, Michael Lorenzen's another starting pitcher who's just kind of a guy back end of the rotation. But I really think realistically that's what the Astros can try to get. He was an all-star because the Tigers are terrible and they had to have one all-star. He wasn't really there on the merits. They also have one more relief pitcher by the name of Jason Foley, who's under team control for 4 years. So, what do you prioritize in terms of the level of talent you can obtain, the price you have to give up, and then, right, from an Astros rooting perspective, it's all about 2023, defending the championship, trying to go back to back. But Dana Brown's not thinking about only this year. And with Stanek and Neris free agents after this season, and who knows where Montero's career is headed, if you can land an arm you like as someone moving forward, that's an option. And one more option name, anyone good for a second go round with Kendall Graveman? Under contract through next season, did some nice work with the Astros when acquired with Montero a couple of years back. He could be in play. $8 million his salary for 2024.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all. I thought Graveman was really good when he was here, and Lorenzen makes sense to me for the Astros. He's kind of one of those guys I was talking about before. He's got plus spin on the fastball. They like his spin. He's on pace to have his first year starting 30 games. So he hasn't proven it from a starting pitcher standpoint, but if you want one of those guys, you're going to have to pay for him. So that's for sure. It's going to cost you if you want to get one of these top starters.